We are less than just 3 months away from Black Ops 6, and this is what I'm hoping for from zombies when it comes out. My favorite zombies from the franchise so far are Black Ops 3 and Cold War, so I'd really like for this to be a combination of the two and take the best from each. From what we know so far, it seems that what we'll be getting is in fact going to be gameplay-wise very similar to Cold War, which I consider a good thing, but I'd really like it if it started off more grounded like Cold War, but the further you play, the more it leaned into some of the more wacky and mystical things from the Black Ops 3 era. With recent reveals, we know that Treyarch wants to bring back gameplay elements from previous titles, and we know that one of them is going to be the Gobblegum machine. This makes me really curious for what else they are planning to bring back.
We're excited to announce that there will be two brand new maps available at launch, with a curated mix of fan favorite features and new elements to discover.
What zombies will need to be successful is plenty of activities for the player to do once they land into a match. And what I mean by that is just different challenges, Easter eggs, and buildables that the player can engage with outside of just the idea of surviving. But what we don't need is it to be too complicated and have 5 different types of currencies and you can only buy certain items or build certain items with a certain currency. Just keep it simple. Have just points and then maybe one other thing like salvage, but don't have third and fourth different types of currencies because then it gets too convoluted. Also, no portals. Unless the portal's going to take me somewhere crazy like another dimension, I really don't want any portals. Like, I don't want them to take me from one half of the city to the other half of the city when there's also another way I could walk across, because that portal really just is a couple of seconds of not playing and it kind of chops up your maps and makes the flow kind of go away. So unless the portal's going to take you somewhere like a pack punch area that's completely separate from the map, or like I said, somewhere crazy like another dimension that wouldn't be part of the map, I really think they should just try to keep it more simple. Story-wise, we know that the Terminus map will follow after the events of Cold War, and there'll be another map called Liberty Falls that will take place at the same time on the other half of the world. It really makes me wonder who the other crew is going to be. I really hope they make interesting characters for the other crew, because right now the characters they have in Zombies aren't super interesting. Like, I am interested in Weaver and the other characters of this crew a little bit, but not as much as like Primus and Ultimus. And these two crews need a way of bouncing off each other. I know that they won't be interacting with each other, but I think that the events that each separate crews are doing should somehow affect the other crews. That'd be really interesting to see how they make both maps play into the same story if it's different people on different sides of the world. Ultimately, the story should all lead up to something that connects the whole Zombies franchise together and leads back into some of the previous stories like what we had with Black Ops 3 or the original groups that we had back then. I think the way that they can do that is by bringing back Richthofen, which there are rumors that he will be showing up, and if he does show up, I really hope it's meaningful and not like some silly cameo that you can do with some side Easter egg. I think it should be part of the main story, and that what he's doing will affect the current crews that we have and somehow tie into his original plans from some of the older games. Really, a door just needs to be open that allows the future zombie maps to be more creative and have more options and variety. I want future maps to be more experimental, even if that means taking some risks. And one of the DLC maps that comes out ends up being a flop. I think that'd be okay if they tried some new things to see if it worked. And if it ends up being a success, then they can start doing stuff like that for future maps all the time. And if it ends up being a flop, it was just one map, and the next couple maps after that are all still good. I hope that every weapon is viable, even if it's clear that some weapons are best. And even more importantly, I want wonder weapons to actually be the best weapons, because sometimes the wonder weapons are mid and it really takes the excitement away from getting a super rare weapon like a wonder weapon. Also, no ray weapons. I mean, it's okay if a ray gun shows up in the mystery box or whatever, but don't make the new wonder weapon for each map be a new ray gun, like a Ray Mark 5 or whatever they're on now. Do more experimental things. I'd be okay with something silly like a pistol that can't actually kill any zombies, but it has a 50% chance of turning a zombie into brain rot. Then you could just have a bunch of zombies running around fighting each other while you could do other stuff. I mean, maybe that's a terrible idea, but I just mean like it'd be cool if they tried something new that wasn't just a ray gun or a gun that does lots of damage. Now I know it's not likely, but something I'd really like to have in this game, not just for zombies, but for campaign and multiplayer too, is I'd really love to have split screen. Now that will never happen, it especially won't happen for the campaign, but I think it could happen for the zombies. A lot of the other zombie modes have had it, but the recent ones haven't, so please bring it back. If it doesn't come back, I won't be disappointed as long as the game's still actually high quality, but I do like to play with my friends a lot, and sometimes we like to play split screen games together, so it'd be really cool if this feature came back. I was going to say also make the game playable offline, but we already know that you're going to have an internet connection to play this game, which really stinks. But as long as it doesn't have any issues with the online connectivity, which it probably will, but if they could make it all work seamlessly and you could still play as if you were online without having to play for Xbox Live and Game Pass and all that separate for the zombies and the campaign, I think we're good. Like the subscription should be for multiplayer, but not for zombies. If you'd be so kind, please leave a like on the video. I'd really like to make some more zombies videos and maybe some campaign and multiplayer too. Anyway, thanks for watching.